And I want to talk specifically about spousal support and how you can cause a reject by not referencing the same thing on each of the forms. So on the 180, the 170, and the 343, the 343 specifically is the spousal support order, and it is what you're requesting. Is there spousal support? Yes or no? If so, how much? Are you reserving jurisdiction? Are you terminating? That's where all the details of the spousal support order go in. But the 170 and the 180 also reference the 343. So like on the 180, the boxes have to match. So here's how this went. The 343, the petitioner was going to be receiving spouse support from the respondent. So when you do that, you want to terminate, usually you want to terminate jurisdiction to the paying spouse, to the respondent. Well, on their 180, you have to mark the same thing. Terminate to, on the spouse support section on page 2 of the 180, terminate spouse support to respondent, and then based on a written agreement. The written agreement is referring to the 343. Same thing for the 170. The 170 has a section on spouse support, and you also have to make that match. So all three of those forms need to say jurisdiction terminated to respondent based on a written agreement. What they were doing is they were leaving it off on one, not saying to terminate to respondent, so it didn't match the 343. And on the 180, it actually said terminate to both. So just the courts are like, what do you want here? You say in the spouse support, but now you're saying it's terminated to both. And here you're saying it's just terminated to respondent. So that all has to match up. And just that's all it is, little check boxes that can throw your whole judgment out for being rejected. And it can get confusing. So because I had actually call them and say, it looks like there's spouse support, but you're also saying it's terminated to both. And then you're saying it's terminated him. What do you really want to do here?